Hello everyone and welcome back to Tilted Table. We are very excited to be joining you this evening for the next installment in our spoopy doopy game month.
Scrappy Dappy Doo.
Yeah, Scrappy Dappy Doo! Spooky doopy doo. I like it. Yeah,
hey, look! We messed up the camera.
Yay! We messed up the camera. Should I go fix it? Or
no, we messed up the lights.
I know, I saw that.
I'll move it.
Alright, Sam's gonna go fix the lights while we talk about tonight's game. So, we are playing Eaten by Zombies, which we have streamed before, but we are playing, that looks great. We are playing the In Cahoots expansion to that game to bring something a little bit new. So, what is different about the expansion is that it is a standalone two-player expansion as well as a game that can be added to the base game to take it from 4 players to up to 6 players. So tonight we are going to be playing just the standalone portion since we've already played the base game on a past stream and we really want to show what the expansion adds. But Eaten by Zombies in general is a part co-op, part competitive zombie deck builder, which is very, very exciting for me because that's just like lots of things that I love all in one. Yay, we fixed the camera. Good job, team. So the basics of this game is that we are survivors, and Sam, you can choose to either be Dean or Nancy, who are in cahoots. And they have the exact same deck that just you get to be Dean or Nancy. And the way this works is we all start with a base deck of cards, and we are survivors fending off the horde of zombies. And there are essentially 3 ways the game can end. One is if one of us ever dies, which I'll get back to, then the other person wins. So it is competitive in that aspect. However, if we can get to the point where we need to add zombies to the horde, and there are no more zombies to add from the zombie deck, and there's none in the discard to shuffle to make a new deck, then we both win. So it is cooperative if we can kill all the zombies. But if we can't kill all the zombies, then
last man standing.
Yeah, then it becomes last man standing. The third way the game can end is if at any point in the game someone has a full hand of 6 zombie cards, which you will acquire as you kill them, then we both lose. Because basically the strain overtakes you and you let the zombies in and they overrun both of us. So the way the game works is we have in front of us our 6 cards that we can loot to add to our deck. So like most deck builders, if you've played Dominion, this part will feel familiar. There will be a phase in which you can essentially buy cards and you can put them in your deck. And I'm going to reference this just to make sure I don't mess it up. So on a turn, the way that works is we're first going to reveal a zombie and add it to the horde in front of us. Right now, we are only adding 1 zombie per turn. Oh no. Odd feedback. We apologize, Dark Citadel. Producer Sam is listening now to see what you're talking about. So what we will do is we'll add 1 zombie per turn to the horde. However, when we have to add a zombie to the horde and there are none, we will shuffle the zombie discard to make a new zombie deck. And every time you shuffle the zombie discard, you start dealing an extra zombie card per turn. So once that happens, it becomes 2 zombies a turn, or 3 zombies a turn, and so on. So once you've added a zombie to the horde, you have 2 choices. You can either choose to fight or flee. If you choose to fight, you will play cards from your hand that have fight symbols on them, and you will in turn kill as many of the zombies in the horde as you can. If you choose to flee, you will play you will play cards with flee symbols on them, and you will try to beat the zombies' attrition score. So each zombie, and I'll try and grab one here. Each zombie has something on the top of it, which is going to be the number, and we'll give you the close-up of that later. And then at the bottom, there's an attrition score. So the fight number on top is how much you need to kill it, and the attrition number on bottom is how much you need to flee from it. When you are fleeing, you must flee the combined attrition value of all of the zombies in the horde. When you are fighting, you kill the zombies one by one, starting with the most recent zombie that was added to the horde. And based on how your fight or flee turns out, and that determines what happens next. So if you are fighting and you have killed all of the zombies in the horde, then you can scavenge for swag. And at that point, all of the fight points that you played can be used to buy as many cards as you want. You get unlimited buys as long as you have enough fight available to spend. So it can sometimes be useful to spend more fight than you actually need to kill the horde so that you can buy more cards. On the flip side, with flee, if you successfully flee, then again, your flee amount that you played will allow you to buy swag. However, there are a couple other things that happen if you fail to fight or if you fail to flee, which is you will lose cards to attrition. So if you're choosing to fight, any zombies that you failed to kill will you take their attrition value and you must lose that many cards of the total attrition value of every surviving zombie from your hand and or the top of your deck. And when you lose those cards, they do not go to your discard. They actually go back to these buy piles. And the starting cards that you start with will form new piles as you lose them. And this is bad, because if you ever need to draw a card and you don't have any and your discard is empty so you can't shuffle it, then you have decked yourself and you die. So losing cards to attrition is how you get closer to death because you have less cards in your deck. Similarly, if you flee successfully, you still lose cards to attrition because you chose not to fight, but you only lose half as many cards because you fleed successfully. If you then flee, but you fail to flee, you lose the same number of cards to attrition as if you failed to fight. So you would lose a number of cards equal to the total attrition values of all the zombies in the horde. Now,
I'm gonna mute for a sec. So
okay, we're muting. We will be right back.
I mean, I think it's better.
Okay. Woohoo! It's an odd Kirby dance. Is it fixed? Yay! That's awesome.
I think.
We think. Well, we appreciate you letting us know, Dark Citadel, because we want you to be able to hear us. Hey, Will Fence, how's it going? Thank you all for bearing with us as we got this figured out. As you can see, we are back in our new studio space, so we have been switching equipment back and forth over the last couple weeks, and we kind of had to rush to set things up tonight, so the audio wasn't quite perfect, so we appreciate it. So after you have scavenged for swag, you'll discard any card you played, and then you would lose cards to attrition if you need to lose cards to attrition. And as a recap, you lose cards to attrition either if there are zombies you didn't kill while fighting, or if you chose to flee, you lose half the attrition value if you successfully fleed, or the full attrition value if you failed to flee. Now, the way you lose cards to attrition is you can either lose them from your hand, or you can reveal cards from the top of your deck, and you can do both. You can mix and match. So you could, if you have to lose 5 cards, you could do like 2 out of your hand and 3 from the top of your deck. Now, here's the important thing. You cannot lose a card to attrition from your hand if it is a zombie card. So zombie cards are essentially dead cards that you acquire as you kill them with fighting, because when you kill a zombie during the fight phase, it goes to your discard pile and becomes part of your deck. Once it ends up in your hand, it is a dead card. You cannot lose it to attrition because that would be too easy. However, if you choose to lose cards off the top of your deck blind, and one of them has to be a zombie card, you've lucked out, and you get to lose it to attrition. The only way to get a dead card, which is a zombie card, out of your hand is on the other person's turn. When we add to the horde, and I'll explain this a little bit more detail here, but when we add to the horde, you will have the opportunity to add a zombie card from your hand to the horde on the other player's turn, to try and make the horde harder for them and to get a dead card out of your deck.
Rigged.
Yeah, rigged. Now, once you get through the fight or flee phase, all the way through fighting or fleeing, scavenging, and then losing cards to attrition if you need to do that, then we dissipate a zombie. So if you failed to kill all the zombies or you failed to flee, all of the zombies in the horde go to the discard pile, and the horde gets reset. If you successfully fought or you successfully fleed, then if there are any zombies left in the horde, for example, a successful flee, there would be zombies left in the horde, you take the oldest zombie and you put it in the discard, and you leave the rest there. So one zombie goes away so that the horde doesn't just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But you do pass the rest of the horde off to the other player because you chose not to kill them.
Gotcha.
Once you've done that, you will then draw up to 6 cards in your hand at the end of your turn. So now let's go back and talk a little bit about scavenging for swag in terms of buying cards. So if you scavenge, you can buy, as I said, as many cards as you can afford based on the total fight or flee value that you played on your turn, which you have to choose before you start playing any cards. And then you can buy until you have 6 cards in your hand. So there's no limited number of buys, except that cards you buy go into your hand directly, and once you have 6 in your hand, then you can't buy any more on that turn. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it, except for let's go back to talking real quick about playing zombies out of your hand on someone else's turn. So once we've added a zombie to the horde, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that if you want to give us the overhead shot. So here's the first zombie. Once you've added a zombie to the horde, then you have to, let's see here. You can only add a zombie if its attrition is equal to or lower than the number of zombies already in the horde. So looking at our first example here, we have a fight 1 zombie that has attrition 4 here at the bottom. If we had some cards in the horde already, and I had this zombie in my hand, if we had 3 zombies in the horde, I could add this to the horde on Sam's turn after we had revealed zombies. However, if we had 5 zombies in the horde on Sam's turn, I would not be able to add this to the horde because its attrition value is 4. Now, stronger zombies, as we'll see, have lower attrition values, so they're easier to flee from, harder to fight, but once you kill them, they are also harder to get back out of your hand because you can only play them on smaller hordes. That's pretty much it.
Bigger hordes?
No, smaller hordes. So
the harder zombies.
Yeah, so for example, let me check here. The strength 8 zombie has attrition 1, which means that it can never be added to a horde. Let me double check that. Attrition equal to or lower. Okay, so if you have a horde of 1 and only 1, you can add that attrition 1 zombie to the horde to make 2, I think. Yeah. Cool. All right, so let's see if there's any cool start first mechanic. This is both a co-op and competitive game, Dark Citadel. So it is a co-op game if we manage to kill all of the zombies, and then we both win. It is a competitive game if we fail to do that, then once one of us dies, the other one wins.
I absolutely think you need to go first regardless, because I'm still really lost.
Yeah, I'm okay going first.
So I start drawing my 6 cards?
Yes, you will start by drawing 6 cards from your shuffled hand. Just curious. Oh yeah, it doesn't give anything cool to figure out who's going. They call it going outside.
I'm pretty sure it's the player named Jordan starts first. That is a house rule that I made up in Jordan's house.
And now, for your reference, Sam, we do have a card in front of you that kind of tells you the turn sequence as well, so you can follow along. So the first thing we did is we drew a zombie here, and we added it to the horde.
From here?
Yes, from the zombie deck. We added it here. So it is a strength 1 zombie. I have my 6 cards. I have to choose to fight or flee. Wow. I'm going to choose to fight because I can kill this zombie, and I might as well.
What does it take to kill the zombie?
It takes the number on the top to kill it in fight. So to clarify for your sake and for the viewers at home when we show you cards, there are 4 different symbols. There is a symbol that looks kind of like a red stop sign. That is the fight symbol. There's a symbol that looks like a crossing person sign that's kind of yellow. That is the flee symbol. There is a black diamond symbol, which is the scavenge symbol. And then there is a upside down triangle symbol, which is the draw symbol. Also, the text on the bottom of the cards should tell you what the symbols are as well. So if you have a flee symbol on a card, so it will say like flee +1 at the bottom. If you have flee and draw, it'll say draw a card.
What are these numbers?
That is the cost of the card to buy.
Cost in what?
I'll show you. So I'm going to choose to fight. And so the first thing I'm going to do is play a sandwich, which I can play because it allows me to draw a card. Normally, because it is a flee card, I would not be able to play it when I chose to fight, but because it has a different ability, I can play it. So to show a different example of what I mean, there are hide cards, which are one of those cards you start with, which only allow you to flee. Since I have chosen to fight, I cannot play a flee card while fighting. It's just stuck in my hand. So I am going to play that to draw a card, and then I'm going to play another sandwich to draw another card. And then I'm going to play 3 heavy sticks, which each give me fight +1, so that I have 3 fight total. And that allows me to kill this zombie, so it goes into my discard.
You'd only actually need 1, right?
I would only actually need 1. The reason that I played 3 is that it will allow me to buy more cards. So looking at these cards really quick, we'll talk about them as we buy them. So the first thing that I'm going to buy is the locker for 2. And the locker gives me flee +2. It also gives me scavenge +2. Now I'm going to look this up just to make sure I'm telling it to you right, but I believe that scavenge basically means if you successfully get to scavenge on that turn, you get to scavenge, you get like 2 extra points for spending. Only
the Jordan rule.
The Sam rule.
I like it.
Okay, so just confirming. Yeah, so basically if I were to play this locker on this turn, I would have been able to buy up to 5, my 3 fight plus scavenge 2. So that's what scavenge does. It basically gives you additional buying power only if you successfully get to buy stuff. So that could be the locker could be really useful, just to clarify. If, let's say I had fleed instead, right? And I had played like 2 sandwiches in the locker, I would have flee +4, which would have allowed me to flee this attrition 4 zombie. And then I would have been able to scavenge for 6. So I could have bought like something for 5 and something for 1, right? So this locker is essentially worth 4 for buying power on a flee turn or 2 on a fight turn. But the scavenge does not actually help you do the fleeing. It only helps you with the buying later.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'm buying a locker, which goes into my hand, and I have 1 more left that I can spend because I had 3 fight and the locker costs 2. So I'm going to buy an I'll be right back. So I'll be right back. You play this card whenever a survivor could add a zombie to the horde. You add a zombie from your hand to the horde, then lose cards from your discard pile equal to that zombie's level, and you add that zombie's attrition value to the survivor's total scavenge this turn. So this card would allow me to get rid of a zombie card from my hand, whether or not I could normally add it to the horde.
Add a zombie from your hand, the discard pile.
Here's a better explanation here. So you may play I'll be right back whenever any survivor could add a zombie to the horde, even on your own turn. You may still add a zombie from your hand to the horde if it is not your turn. When you play I'll be right back, you may add any zombie card from your hand to the horde, regardless of that zombie's attrition. So it ignores the normal zombie adding rules. You must lose cards from your discard equal to that zombie's level. And the zombie's level is that fight number in the upper left. If any player scavenges for swag this turn, they add a scavenge bonus equal to a scavenge bonus to the total equal to that zombie's attrition value. So, for example, I might play I'll be right back on my own turn, throw this level 1 zombie out there, kill it again, and get to scavenge for +4 at the cost of losing just 1 card. Or maybe I'll get a more powerful zombie later, like that level 8 one that I mentioned. I might play it on your turn, and even if you do manage to kill it or flee it, you would only get to draw 1 extra card. But I would have to lose 8 cards to be able to throw that out on you. So it can be useful for me, or I could maybe use it to try and screw you over later. But either way, it's the only 1 cost card that I could buy, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So those all go to my discard, and because I killed all the zombies, I don't lose any cards to attrition. So, and we don't have any zombies to dissipate. So then I draw up to my hand size. So I have the 3 cards I kept, plus the 2 cards that I bought. So I get 1 more card in my hand, and that is it. So now it becomes Sam's turn.
Cool.
So the first thing we do is reveal a zombie, and we have revealed a level 2 zombie that has attrition 4.
Okay, so I'm gonna fight.
Okay, Sam has chosen to fight.
Play a sandwich.
Okay.
As per the sandwich rule.
Yep, drawing a card.
I'll play another sandwich.
Ooh.
As per the sandwich rule.
Now, for those of you who are following at home, the starting deck has 2 sandwiches, 5 +1 fight cards, and 5 +1 flee cards.
I'll pull the Jordan.
And Sam basically just did exactly what I did. 3 heavy sticks for fight of 3. You kill the zombie, and then you can now scavenge for up to 3. And you don't have to spend it all, but it is often useful too. So those 2 cards you bought go into your hand, you discard that, and then you draw back up to 6, and that's your turn.
Q.
And aha! So this is great. This is an interesting zombie, and I'll hold it up to the camera. So this expansion to the game added all of these loot cards plus a bunch more, but it also added some new zombies. Now, it does come with a full set of basic zombies, so you don't have to play with these, but I figured I put a couple of these in instead of the normal zombies just to allow us to show what it does. So this zombie is level 1, attrition 2, but it also has a symbol on it, and this is the draw a card symbol. Now, instead of letting you draw a card for a card you played, it basically lets the zombies draw a card. So when this happens, you have to then, for the first time this symbol gets revealed in a turn, you have to draw an extra zombie from the horde, or from the deck to add to the horde. So now I have to deal with both of these if I want to survive.
Psst, Jordan's gonna run away.
Yes, shockingly, I am going to run away because that is a thing that I do. So I am going to flee, and I'm going to play my locker, flee +2, scavenge +2. Then I'm going to play a hide, another hide, and another hide for a total of flee 5. Since the combined attrition value of these two zombies is 5, then I am able to run away. And so the next thing I do is scavenge. There are 2 here that cost 5, so I'm going to see what I want to do here. Wow, those roller skates look interesting. So one of the 5 cost cards here is, can that lead into multiple zombie card pulls? No, Dark Citadel. It's only the first time you see that symbol on a turn, so it does, that draw symbol does not chain into multiple zombies getting drawn. It's just 1 extra zombie. Okay, so one of the 5 cost cards that I have here is roller skates, which makes each heavy stick, which are the fight +1 cards that you play this turn, worth fight +2 and flee +2. So it makes your heavy sticks really awesome because you're on roller skates, I guess. Or I can buy the Sterling Sten, which has fight +2 or flee +1, and then it's a fight +1 for each zombie in the horde beyond the first. And then during cleanup, each survivor may secretly lose a card from their discard pile. The survivor who lost the card with the highest find may grab this card. So basically, if I play this card, at the end of the turn, Sam could try and steal it from me by losing a card from his discard pile that is a higher value cost than the one that I choose to lose. Or if neither of us lose one, then I would just keep it. So
I mean, in this version of the game, is that even possible?
Yeah.
There's no card out there that's greater in value, right?
No. It's not this card. It is, so like if I were to play this card, I would go into my discard and possibly choose a card to discard from my disc, and then you would choose another card. We would both reveal them, and whichever one of those 2 cards had a higher cost, that person would keep the card.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with the value of this card, unless I have a second one of these that I'm sacrificing to keep it. The downside is you lose a card. So if we fight over this weapon, then we both are losing cards out of our deck and getting closer to dying because of it. That said, I think because I have a lot of heavy sticks right now in my deck, I'm going to try the roller skates. Hold on. How many heavy sticks have I played? I've played 3, so there's 2 left somewhere in my hand or my deck. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna play the roller skates. Okay? And now I have scavenged. So then I have to lose cards to attrition. Now their attrition value is 5, but I lose half. So I'm going to double check if that's rounded up or down. It is... doesn't say? I'm going to say rounded down, I guess.
Okay.
Since it is a positive benefit. So I have to lose 2 cards. Oh yeah, go ahead. I have to lose 2 cards to attrition. And I can lose them from my hand or from the top of my deck. I'm going to choose to lose them from the top of my deck, strategically. So I lose a hide and another hide. That worked out very well. So these hide, now that I've lost them, actually become a new stack of cards available for purchase. So any card you lose to attrition goes back out for buying. So if we really wanted hide cards instead of, say, the I'll be right back card for a cost of 1, we could buy them. If we lose heavy sticks later, we can buy them back as well, should we choose to do so. Now that I have lost cards to attrition, we dissipate the oldest zombie, which would be the first one that I drew. And then I draw back up to 6, so I'm going to draw 1, and I need 2 more cards, but I'm out, so I'm going to shuffle my deck. And then it will be Sam's turn. Okay. And now that I have shuffled and Sam is going to shuffle soon, we will have to start asking people if they want to add zombies to the horde each turn, because we don't know if they will have them in their hands.
Okay. Clean up.
What are you looking for?
Lose any cards must do attrition.
Yeah, it just said half under successfully fled. So
Bad game.
They did actually clean up one thing from the original game rules, though. We had this debate last time we streamed it, in that the original game rules did not allow for a co-op victory. It only allowed for... I'm just going to do that so we know which one's oldest. It only allowed for a competitive victory. So if we beat all the zombies and everyone won, there were still like additional rules to figure out who really won. I like that they have made it now so it can be co-op or competitive. So it's like you can strive to beat all the zombies together, but then when shit starts to hit the fan, that's when you start like trying to sabotage each other, and the game becomes a matter of like figuring out where's the turning point when the game becomes too hard to win together. So you try to get a step up on the other people by being the first one to betray the other people. So Sam drew a level 2 zombie, so he has a 2 and a 3 that he could try and fight. And if he fights them, he would kill them in order from most recent to oldest, or up to 7 attrition to try and flee from. Now, if Sam doesn't think that he could get 7 attrition, one option would be to fight, even if he didn't think he could get 5 fight to kill all the zombies, because he could kill the first zombie and then only suffer 3 cards lost to attrition rather than the full 7. So that he still wouldn't be able to get swag, but he would reduce the negative impact of the horde by killing off some of the zombies.
Yeah, I think I'm screwed.
That happens.
So rip 7 cards.
Well, you don't have any fight at all?
I have 1.
Oh, damn. And you don't, and you
probably, I have 5 fleet.
Oof.
So
yeah, so here's you have to pick one or the other. I would recommend maybe picking fight. Oh, actually, it doesn't
matter.
Well, okay. So think about what cards you want to have in your hand next turn and what cards you want to lose to attrition, I guess, is the question. But yeah, you could choose to play no cards if you wanted to just lose mostly cards from your hand, and then save the rest. That is absolutely valid. So then, in that case, it doesn't matter what you pick.
Yeah, so...
Oh yeah, and I don't have a zombie to add to the horde that I want to add. Hey, Narcoleptic Penguin, what's up? How's it going? Is that a TwitchCon 18 badge I see? Are we going to see you next week for the awesome epic party times? Alright, so you lost 3 cards out of your hand and 4 off the top of your deck?
Oh, it's off the top of my deck. Shit.
Yeah, not from your discard, unfortunately.
And then what happens?
You just reveal them blind off the top of your deck.
I don't have enough.
So then you would shuffle. So you reveal as many as you can, then when your deck runs out, you shuffle your discard and keep revealing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you have to lose 7. Here's 3. You need to come up with 4 more, either from your deck or from your hand. So then you would shuffle to get the last one. So Sam's lost all 5 of his hide cards and 1 heavy stick. So Sam's turning into a fighter. Narcoleptic Penguin, we will be doing many things there, but we're not going to be doing like an official board game thing like we ran last year. There will be a tabletop area, but we are not personally running it this year. All right, so these cards that Sam lost end up here in the buy section. So 2 heavy sticks. At least you didn't lose. I guess you kept the cards that you bought, so you didn't lose them, which is nice. And you didn't lose your sandwiches, which is also nice. So since Sam got caught by the horde, the entire horde dissipates, and we deal out a new one. We have a level 8 zombie with attrition 1. Now, before I do anything else, Sam, do you have a zombie in your hand that you would like to add to the horde? You do not have to, even if you have one.
What are the rules?
The rules are the attrition of the zombie that you add has to be less than or equal to the total number of zombies currently in the horde. So you could add any zombie to the horde if you wanted to. Usually you only want to do that in one of 2 cases. Either you really, really need to get a dead card out of your hand, or you're going only for the competitive win at that point in the game. All right, so Sam has added a level 2 zombie to the horde, which sucks for me because now I have to either come up with 10 fight or 5 attrition, or I could try and kill this zombie and then just eat the 1 attrition from the really hard one. Let me see. Actually, I really wish you hadn't done that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Because I think I could have actually killed that zombie. But now it's going to go back and it's going to come back to haunt us again. It's okay.
It's coming back to haunt you. I'm going to be dead.
Yeah, I had a chance to kill it, but now I definitely can't. So in that case, I think I am going to... I really want to buy cards. So I'm going to flee. I'm going to flee because I need to buy cards. Even though I will lose 2, I'm going to flee. Okay, so first I'm going to play my sandwich and draw a card. Then I'm going to play another sandwich and draw a card. So that puts me at 2 flee out of 5 needed to successfully flee. We always get the person who got the traitor card who's just really bad at it. Yeah, traitors made by circumstances. It is kind of cool. I like the tension of deciding as players when it's a co-op game versus when it's a competitive game. I have a hide card, which gives me another flee. I'm going to play my roller skates. So each heavy stick I play is fight +2 and flee +2. So I have 3 heavy sticks. So as it turns out, I would not have been able to kill that zombie anyways because I was hoping to draw a 4th heavy stick. But I get 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait. Nope, I did that wrong. I can't play these. I thought the roller skates were giving heavy sticks fight and flee, but I was wrong. The roller skates give heavy sticks fight +2, and the roller skates themselves have flee +2. I am now noticing from these symbols. That's still okay. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which barely is okay. So I miscalculated, but it worked out. So I flee successfully, and because I have fleed successfully, I can scavenge for up to 5. I'm going to grab a Sterling Sten, and then I am going to... I'm going to lose my 2 cards off the top of the deck, I think. Yeah. So there's 1 is a hide, and 2 is a heavy stick. Could be worse.
Yeah, it could be me.
Right. And then
One zombie
the oldest zombie goes away, and the youngest zombie stays, and it is now Sam's turn as I draw back up 6. So Sam drew a Level 1 zombie with 4 attrition. So he currently has
I'm fighting.
8 attrition on the table, but only 3 to kill them. As he fights. Yeah! So double sandwich. Did that draw out your whole deck? Wow. That's careful. So that's something to be careful of, because if Sam had played another draw card and couldn't draw when he needed to, he would be dead. So that was just barely enough. So you ended up with how much fight?
5. Or 3.
3 fight? Okay, so you kill both the zombies. Those go into your deck. And then you can buy up to 3 cost things. Could I perhaps interest you in a heavy stick or a hide? Normally, the rule of deck builders says make your deck small and avoid crappy low-cost cards. But in this case, when you're getting decked, it becomes an interesting... This is another thing that I think this game solves for well that other games don't, is that there's actually a reason to sometimes accumulate lots of crappy cards because it makes you more immune to death. So that becomes an interesting strategy. All right, so Sam has bought... Remember, the heavy stick goes into your hand. So Sam has bought a heavy stick and another locker, and then draws back up to 6, and I will deal a zombie to the horde. It is a level 6 zombie with 2 attrition. Sam, once you have drawn back up to 6, would you like to add a zombie to the horde?
Probably.
You know, we could do this together.
I feel like you took care of that one. Nope, I'm good.
All right. I'm not the one who started beating on you. All right, so I'm going to choose to fight. I'm going to play my Sterling's Den for fight +2, and then I'm going to play 4 heavy sticks to get to 6 fight. So I'm going to kill this zombie, and then I have 6 swagness, I guess. Let me look at some of these 4 cost cards that we haven't talked about yet. So we have bandages, which allow you to, you may only play 1 copy of this card each turn. It allows you to draw 3 cards, and then if a level 2 or lower zombie is in the horde, you get flee +2. And first aid. I'm not actually, do you have the rules? I'm not actually sure what this means. It says you may lose this card from your hand to lose 1 wound token. But I don't know what wound tokens are, so I need to check that out. Does it tell more?
Nope, says the same thing. Just as wound token.
Wound token on the game. Interesting. What are the first... Oh, I see. Some cards can give you wound tokens that have a negative effect on you for the rest of the game unless the first aid is played. So that the first aid doesn't do anything in this case because we don't have anything that gives us wound tokens. So in this case, this card is just a draw 3 cards that gives you flee +2 if there is a level 2 or lower zombie. And then this one is take the side streets, flee +1, and then flee from each zombie in the horde separately, starting with the closest. Remove any zombies you successfully fled from, placing it in the zombie discard. Lose a card from the top of your deck for each zombie you removed. So basically, this card is useful if you think you'll find yourself in a situation where you cannot flee the entire horde. You can try and flee parts of the horde. So that's pretty useful. Okay. I think I'm going to... What do I think I'm about to draw?
Stuff!
endgame.
I think I'm going to go with a Sterling Sten and another heavy stick. Because unlike Sam, I haven't given up on this being a co-op victory.
I'm dying.
Right? Okay, so now we are in the cleanup phase. So now we have to deal with this Sterling Sten. So during cleanup, each survivor may secretly lose a card from their discard pile. The survivor who lost the card with the highest find value may grab this card. So here's how we're going to do this. Do you have any? Wait, do you have any discard pile right now? All right. So since Sam doesn't have any discard pile, I automatically keep this card. But for future reference, if you did have a discard pile, here's what we would do. Even if you didn't want to lose a card, we would both take a card from our discard pile and place it face down. And then when we said reveal, you just wouldn't turn it over.
Okay.
And if you did turn it over, then we would compare the cost.
So it's just about revealing. It's not about actually discarding.
No, you actually do lose it.
So you're able to take it without a card?
Correct. I get to keep it because no one... It's basically you get to grab the card. So if no one grabs it, then it just goes back to my discard normally.
This game is rigged.
It's not rigged.
Yeah, you should have to give up a card to keep it.
No, because it's basically saying that we're fighting over it. But if no one fights me over it, why would I have to lose something to keep it? So I'm going to draw back up to 6. Would I like to add a zombie to the horde? I think you have a very fight-heavy deck, so I am going to trust that you can take care of this.
You suck.
Did that really screw you?
No,
Okay.
but you still suck.
Hey, it gives you more cards in your deck before you deck yourself.
You suck.
So Sam chose to fight because I gave him a level 1 zombie. He killed them all with, I think, heavy sticks. And bought a locker and the last heavy stick that was available. And so now Sam draws back up to 6 while we see what's next in the horde. It is a level 1 zombie. Sam, would you like to add a zombie to the horde?
Nope.
All right.
Because I'm not mean, like Jordan. Better read those rules. Yeah, you know what? I don't think it's right, but I'm not going to care about arguing with Jordan on this one.
I mean, it's right there. All right, so what do I actually want to do? I think oh crap. Hold on. I'm gonna help you, Sam, because I forgot I had this card.
Mm-hmm.
On your turn, I used I'll be right back to play the zombie, which allowed you to scavenge for 4 extra. So just go ahead and scavenge for 4 extra.
Oh, I see how it is.
I forgot I had that card, which was the whole reason I bought it, because it helps you. So, yeah. I'm like, this card is a dead card, because I never play it. And then the one time I got a card that I could play it with, I fucked it up. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What did you lose?
Oh, yes. I had to lose 1 card from my discard pile. So I lose a... Oh. Can I lose zombie cards, or does it say non-zombie cards? I don't
want
want to...
so rigged if you could just lose zombie cards.
Yeah. I don't want to lose zombie cards, because that makes it harder for us to win, so it doesn't matter. Losing zombie cards is bad. I'm going to get rid of this hide card to pay for it. Okay, so do I want to fight or flee? It is a level 1 zombie. I think I am going to fight. And I'm going to do a heavy stick and a locker, which gives me scavenge +2. Yeah. And so I kill this zombie. I can scavenge for 3. So I'm going to buy a locker and a hide, the one that I just lost back. And then I will have to draw up 6. So you can go ahead and deal your horde out, and then I'll tell you in a sec if I'm adding anything to it.
Zombie.
It is a level 1 zombie, so we will see if I want to make Sam's life any harder. Should have bought another I'll be right back. That would have been smart. Yeah, here, have another level 1 zombie.
Okay.
Would you like to fight or flee?
Flee.
Damn it! Were you gonna do that anyways? You get to draw 3 cards, by the way. Holy crap. Sam just played 3 lockers, y'all. Okay.
Yeah. Suck it.
I'm gonna buy a lot of stuff.
Any other flee cards you want to play? Or are you good?
No.
Okay. So there is a level 2 or lower zombie. So you have 8 flee, which means you successfully flee, and you can scavenge for up to 14, but only until you have 6 cards in hand. So how many more can you buy? After he bought some roller skates, chat. So you have 9 left to buy if you could buy enough. All right, Sam bought a Sterling Sten, the weapon of choice. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it?
No, I bought skates. And that's
Oh, yeah, you bought skates and a Sterling Sten. Okay. So these, we lose 1 since you fleed successfully, and the other one stays. And then, you lose 4 cards to attrition, which was half of the attrition value. So you can either lose them from your hand or the top of your deck, or both. And they cannot be zombie cards if they are coming from your hand. Nice.
Wait, how many?
4.
That's another sandwich.
Damn sandwiches. If I'd realized you had so many lockers, I would not have played that zombie. Although it ended up kind of working out, but yeah, the attrition was higher. Oh, nice! So the upside is Sam just got rid of 2 zombies. The downside is those are 2 zombies that are going to come back to get us later. Alright, so let's see what comes up next. It is a level 4 zombie. Sam, would you like to add a zombie to the horde?
Yes.
Alright. You're gonna, I'll be right back. So what 2 cards from your discard would you like to lose?
I don't have a discard.
I wonder how that works then. You must lose cards for your discard. But it doesn't say what to do if your discard is empty. Is it like what makes
it's a
the most
bad
sense?
game is what it is.
Well, I'm just curious, like they obviously didn't think about that situation. It seems like maybe it would go to normal attrition rules at that point, like your choice from your hand or the top of the deck. It doesn't make sense to be able to do it for free just because the discard is empty. The question is like, what should you?
But like, generally speaking, it doesn't make sense because it like says lose from your discard pile. Like it doesn't even say. Okay, wait. Okay, hold
this
on.
isn't normal attrition.
See, this is what it's weird by. What is actually the discard pile? Because under the flee rules, it says you must lose cards from your hand, the top of your safe house deck, or from your discard pile, equal to half the horde's attrition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I might have misread that then. Oh, is that only if you successfully flee?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it doesn't actually have to be from the top of your deck.
Well, in that case, take your sandwiches back this was your whole discard, and then just pick what you want to lose instead of those two. These would be in your deck.
I think the answer is sandwiches.
Oh, you didn't want to lose anything from your deck?
Like, what would I lose, though?
That's true. Okay, so you still did that, and then had to shuffle.
Yeah, okay, shuffle again.
And then the question is just what to do with this. Oh, this is a cost 2. I guess the alternative way to rule this is if you don't have a discard pile, you can't play this card.
Return.
Speaking of giveaways, if someone would like to type !PAX U in chat, we are giving away 2 tickets to PAX Unplugged this year. And all you have to do is go on our Glebe and enter for free, and you can get a free ticket to one of the best tabletop conventions out there, sponsored by Tilted Table and the Tabletop Gaming Network, which includes our amazing friends such as Twist Gaming and Crit Camp, who you all know very well, I'm sure. My thought is that maybe if you don't have anything in your discard, you just can't play the card. But you can still add this to the horde, you just wouldn't.
Okay.
Basically, it just means you can't give me the bonus.
Okay.
I'm the one who loses from you not being able to play that card.
I'll hold it then.
Okay. I am going to flee like a motherfucker, which I can only do because you did not play that card. So I'm going to play a locker and another locker, so that gives me flee 4. 2 hide cards to give me flee 6. And I think that's it. So I flee successfully. So I'm going to scavenge for swag first. And I'm going to get a bandage and a sandwich. And then I have to lose 3 to attrition. I don't want to lose the cards in my hand, so I'm going to lose 2 hide from my discard and 1 off the top of my deck, which was a heavy stick. And then this guy dissipates, this one stays, and I draw back up to 6.
Great.
Somehow I doubt you're going to be able to fight this, but let me think about this. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not going to add anything.
Okay, I guess I will.
Yeah, that probably sounds right. Plus, you get extra scavenge by finding things in the lockers as well. That is probably exactly what the lore of the game is, Dark Citadel, is that you're pushing the lockers over in their path, and then also potentially finding loot in them. So what did you choose to do?
Just trying to figure it out.
Okay. No worries.
I have to fight.
Alright. Sam is fighting. Well, now I'm extra glad that I didn't add anything to the horde.
So I think I only killed this one.
Okay, but you ended up with 6?
Yeah. No, I ended up with 7.
Oh, because of the Sterling extra 1?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So that goes in your discard. 1, 2. Not bad.
Not bad.
I mean, 2 could be a lot worse than 2. Right?
Sure.
Okay, so you draw back up to 6. And then we will add zombies. A level 4 zombie. Would you like to add to the horde? We have 1 zombie left in the deck. Once that happens, we're going to start drawing 2 zombies a turn. Just keep that in mind. I have a feeling somehow that that's going to be a card that makes us draw an extra zombie. That's just what my brain is telling me. That would suck. All right. So I now have 6 fight or 6 flee. Sam's playing the I'll be right back and losing. That was in your discard pile?
No, this is my hand.
Oh, it's only from the discard pile for this card. It's not a normal attrition. It's only discard pile.
I know.
Oh,
Add a zombie from your
you're
hand.
giving me 2 zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. All right.
And I'm losing 2 from my discard pile.
Okay. Well, fuck. I think I'm in trouble then.
Don't worry, you're gonna get extra scavenge.
Sure. Thanks, Sam. Fuck it. I'm gonna fight.
Do it.
I'm gonna try and come up with 8.
Do it.
I'm gonna try and come up with
You got
8.
3
All right.
sandwiches. You
All
can
right.
do it.
Right. First thing I'm going to do is play a bandage to draw 3 cards.
I believe in you.
Then I'm going to play a sandwich to draw another card. Then I'm going to play a sandwich to draw another card. Then I'm going to play a sandwich to draw another
I think
card.
you got so much flee.
Yeah, that would be 5 flee right now, out of the 10 I would need. But that's okay. Here we go. Roller skates. Each heavy stick you play this turn is worth fight +2. So heavy stick number 1, heavy stick number 2, heavy stick number 3, heavy stick number 4. That's 8 fight to kill the zombies. Then I'm going to play a Sterling Sten for another 4 fight because there are 2 zombies beyond the first. So that puts me at 12. And then I'm going to play another Sterling Sten for another 4 fight to go to 16 fight. I'm going to kill all of these, and I'm going to buy some cards for 16 fight. I can't eat my way to safety. I will goddamn eat my way to safety with these sandwiches. Although 2 of them are hot dogs, which aren't really sandwiches. But, you know, that's okay. I'll die on this hill. 16, and I can buy up to 5 cards. That's a lot. Oh yeah, and I need to set these aside to see if Sam tries to steal them from me in a sec. I'm going to get a roller skates, 2 more Sterling Stens, and 1 heavy stick. So now, do you want to check to see if the rules specifically say whether a grab goes into your hand or your deck or your discard?
Which one?
I'm not sure if it says grabbing. I guess grabbing is what you do when you scavenge. So maybe a grab is just, but maybe it says somewhere about grab. Trying to spot the word grab somewhere. I think grab is just, it would go to your discard. But it could be even more useful if it goes to your hand, right? Because then we could literally like pass them back and forth at the cost of 1 cheap card and always have them in our hands, which probably is too broken. Yeah. Okay. I think the grab rules are in the base rule set. So I'm just gonna say it goes to your discard because I don't really want to go get the game, which is right behind me.
Sure.
Okay, so we have 2 of them. So first is we need to secretly grab a card from our discard that we have to lose. What is in my discard? Okay. All right, we'll do this one first. 1, 2, 3, reveal. All right. So whoever had the highest find may grab it. If 2 or more players tie, then the player who played the Sterling Sten keeps the card, placing it in their discard pile. Okay. So I lose the heavy stick. Now we do the other one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, reveal. It's all yours. You traded a Sterling Sten for a Sterling Sten. I was just gonna give it to you so that we all each had some. That works. Okay, so
I didn't really have anything else that I could trade. I didn't want to give
fair enough.
Sheets.
Yes, you can eat your way to safety. It's true. All right, so that's the end of my turn. It is Sam's turn. Sam got a reveal another zombie card.
Woo!
Sadly. However, thankfully, we started the turn before we did this, so Sam does not have to deal yet another card. But starting on my turn, we will deal 2 zombies from the deck every turn.
Nice.
However, if we can ever get to the point where we need to deal zombies and can't, we will win. So even if there's like 1 or 2 zombies, if there's zombies in the horde, it doesn't matter. If we need to draw and can't, you're done. Just like dying rolls. So that's 4. Would I like to add to that? Yes.
2.
I'm going to I'll be right back. This guy.
Cool.
Wait, no. I don't want to lose 6 cards for that. Never mind. I was trying to help you, but that's not worth it.
I'm gonna bandage.
Oh, are you fighting or fleeing?
I am fleeing.
Good. Okay.
So I drew
3,
2, and then I shuffled. And I drew the 3rd.
Yeah, I'll just eat this dead card probably.
And then
Which means I probably need more bandages.
all right. So I have
I might have to lose my I'll be right back to attrition because it's kind of dumb at this point in the game.
All right. I have 8 flee.
Okay. You only needed 6, so you're good. So first you scavenge for 8, and then you will lose 3 to attrition.
I scavenge for more than 8.
Oh, because you scavenge for 14, right?
Yes. This has flee too.
Yep. So Sam scavenges for 14 because he played 3 lockers with his bandages, and you can gain what, up to 4 cards. You're not getting anything more expensive, like perhaps a roller skates. Or your Sterling Sten back. Alright, so Sam got 3 heavy sticks and the Sterling Sten for 8 out of his 14, and then has to lose 3 cards to attrition, either from his discard, top of his deck, or his hand. He lost a zombie, which is good for him, bad for us. He lost his Sterling Sten, and you want to lose a card from your hand instead? And he loses one of the heavy sticks he just fought. Alright. And then this guy stays because I dissipated the other one. Now I need to add 2 zombies. Oh, and there's that level 8 back to haunt us. And a level 1. Sam, would you like to add a zombie to the horde?
Nope.
Alright.
I'm not mean like that. Just so we're clear, everyone.
You added a zombie to the horde first.
What?
Yeah. Would I like to add a zombie to the horde?
And then you ran.
I think I'm kind of screwed no matter what I do. Let me see. Oh, I'm so close. I'm 1 fight away from being able to kill them all. I'm gonna fight.
For your right
Yeah.
to party.
I don't think I want to. I'll be right back myself. That sounds bad. I'm going to play roller skates to get a heavy stick, so that's 2 fight. I'm going to play a Sterling Sten, which has 4 fight because of the 2 extra zombies, and another Sterling Sten, so that's 10 fight. So that allows me to kill these 2, but not that one,
Sure.
which blows. Now, I cannot scavenge, so I have to lose 4 cards to attrition. So the first thing I'm going to lose is this I'll be right back, and then I have to lose 3 more. Since my entire deck is my discard right now, why don't I just pick what I want to lose? I have a lot of zombies, y'all. I'm going to lose, I think, probably 3 heavy sticks. So let me see. No, I'm going to lose 2 heavy sticks and a roller skates because my roller skates become far less valuable if I lose all of my heavy sticks.
True.
So, that sucks. Then, Sam and I have to fight over the Sterling Stens if we want to do so. This guy's going to dissipate because he ate me. So we'll do this one first. Okay. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Okay. And this one.
Gonna flip another Sterling Sten.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Okay. So I keep my Sterling Stens at the cost of 1 heavy stick. He didn't trust me.
He shouldn't.
I should, yeah, exactly. I mean,
Okay.
to be fair, I almost just sacrificed my roller skates to it because that seemed reasonable. Wow, that's a lucky draw.
You should definitely toss zombies on there.
Too bad I just got rid of my I'll be right back. I didn't want to pay 6 cards for that anyways. But I can probably toss zombies on there. Give me a chance.
Wait, so you need zombies that let you do the 4. Is that what
I need a zombie that has attrition 2 or higher because there are currently 2 in this horde. So I could not play the level 8 zombie that I just killed if I draw it. Okay. How confident are you?
I'm good.
All right. You can have that guy.
Oop.
Are you going to fight or flee?
Fight.
Sam's fighting!
Roller skates.
He's roller skating with all of those heavy sticks
Boom.
he just bought.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
So he played 3 heavy sticks for 6 fight, and then a Sterling Sten for another 4, which gives him 10 fight, which allows him to slaughter these zombies. We might actually beat this. And then with your 10 fight, you can buy up to 6 cards. Buys a Sterling Sten, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heavy sticks. He's going in, chat. He's going in. I wonder what Sam's going to do next turn.
You want to play for it?
Not really. You can have it.
Woo.
I don't even want to contest it.
Run
I don't even want to
around.
pretend to contest it, because I'm still in cooperative mode.
So am I.
Oh, wait. I didn't draw up to 6.
I am also in
Oh, wait, yes, I
cooperative
did.
mode.
I gave you a zombie.
Give you zombies.
Okay. So a level 1 zombie and a level 4 zombie.
How do you leave zombies on the board?
If you flee successfully, then you would only dissipate the oldest.
Sounds like you might want to flee successfully.
To let you kill it?
Well, to let me kill it. So I could graciously kill it for you.
Right.
You're like, yes, that sounds like a good plan.
I would lose 3 cards to attrition if I did that.
Seems like good value.
Versus 5. Well, I guess the first question is, do you want to add any zombies to the horde?
I do not have any zombies to add.
Okay. So
Hence buying 6 cards.
for either 5 fight or 6 flee, I think I could kill them, but I am going to flee because I think I get to buy more cards if I do that.
Do it.
So first I'm going to play Bandages, which gives me 2 flee because there is a level 2 or lower zombie. But I also get to draw 3 cards. And then I'm going to play 3 Sandwiches to draw 3 more cards, and I'm at 5 flee.
Wow.
Then I'm going to play... This is not as impressive as Sam's like triple locker play, but I'm going to play the other 2 lockers in the game, which puts me at 9 flee and 13 total scavenge. But then I'm going to play... Ooh. I don't think I'm going to play anything... Wow. If I don't play, then I can't buy as many cards.
You might as well.
Okay, I'm going to play 2 Sterling Stens for another 2 flee. So that puts me at 15 flee. So I flee successfully. But then I can buy up to 3 cards. So I'm going to buy a bandages because I have very many zombies in my deck. And I'm going to buy a roller skates and a heavy stick for a total of 10. And then I have to lose 3 cards to attrition. I am going to lose them right off the top of the deck, and I actually hope that they're not zombies, but they might be. I lose a roller skates. I lose the level. Oh no! I lost the level 8 zombie that we killed. Damn it! Alright, so we're going to have to draw an extra zombie from the deck, but there are only 6 zombies left, so this is doable.
Are we going to 3 zombies after this?
After your turn, we're going to do 3 zombies every turn. The Jordan and Sam sandwich and roller skates defense is really paying off so far. This is true. All right, so I could play a weakish thing, but it depends on you.
How weak?
Not the weakest.
Let me do the math. So this is 3 plus 2 on a Sterling, so that's 5.
Yes, a Sterling is worth 5. So if you play 2, that'd be 10, and you currently need 9.
Yeah,
so
you would screw us if we did it.
Could you have exactly 10?
Have exactly 10.
All right, then I will not play a zombie. I will eat the dead cards. I think
I
I'll
will
be okay.
QQ for 10.
Okay. Oh wow, 5 heavy sticks and a Sterling stand. Nice. Okay. So you slaughter all the zombies, and then you can buy up to 10 worth of swag, up to 6 cards.
Okay.
Do you have 2 discard piles? What is
No.
this? Are these cards you lost?
Oh no, this is the discard pile. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
This was what I played last time.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's going on?
I haven't drawn.
So you bought a roller skates, a bandages to go in your hand.
I can buy 1 more, right?
Yes, you could buy a I'll be right back or a hide. And I'll be right back might be okay this turn. If you were to draw 1, and that would give me a lot of scavenge, but you may not need it if you want to just get a hide.
I think hide is better.
Okay.
I have a lot. I also now have a lot of zombies.
Yep. All right. 3 zombies in the horde.
Oh, do you want the Sterling Stand?
I think I
It'd
have.
go in the pile, right? So you wouldn't.
It would go in my discard, yeah. I think I have 2 or 3 of them, so we have a good split right now. So I don't want to fight for it.
Right,
Not until the game becomes impossible. So there's that level 8 zombie again. A level 2. Oh, and a level... If that was low, I probably would have been able to fight. I don't know if I can fight that. Crap. But the flee value is only 5, so I'm fleeing. I have to flee here. The attrition is 5. So we have a total of 16 level of zombies if I chose to fight. Oh wait, never mind. We have to draw another one because I drew the draw symbol card. We have a crap. So we have 9 attrition or 18 fight. Crap. I knew I should have drawn that. I'm still gonna try and flee and hope that I draw well with my bandages. Crap. I need to come up with 9. Is killing things worth it, actually? No. I only have 4 fight in hand or 4 flee. What is my deck made of?
I think if you can successfully flee, you have to.
I can't right now with what's in my hand. It depends on what I draw. But looking at my deck, I don't know what's in here, and I think it's probably zombies, so I think I'm in trouble. I think I have to try. Oh man.
Well, if you can
I
fight,
think I have to try and fight and kill some stuff. right now I can only kill one, but that would only be 5 cards. Whereas if I flee and fail, I lose 9 cards, and that's catastrophic.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try and fight. This is backs to the wall. Bandages. Oh, thank God. All right, we have a chance. Depending on what I draw here, we have a real chance. Come on, Sterling Stand.
I think we're back in a mode where, like, if you can ditch things, or I can ditch things, in order to get you cards,
Okay.
we're better off.
I'm gonna sandwich. Wow, look at all that flee. Crap! I should have fleed. Because that would have been 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I would have had exactly 9 flee if I fleed. Oh well. I think I might be okay. I think I can kill at least 2. So I'm gonna play roller skates and 2 heavy sticks. So that's 4 fight. And then I'm going to play a Sterling Sten for 5, so that's 9 fight. But I don't think I can come up with a 10th, unfortunately. And my hand is looking real bad right about now. So I can kill these 2, and then I'm gonna lose 3 cards to Attrition.
I think you should lose at least 2 of your heavy sticks, because then we can start doing the swap.
These are the only 2 heavy sticks in my deck. So if I lose 3, it should be 2 heavy sticks in the roller skates. I would just need to give up on that and let that be your thing, because.
But I can also stack that deck, because I think the right play at this point is for me also to flee.
Yeah. Well, these dissipate now because they ate me, and I don't get to scavenge.
And now we're flipping 4.
And we're going to flip 4 on my turn again. You get 1 more turn because of that.
So I flip 3?
You flip 3, which is all of them.
So you have to shuffle those.
Well, oh yeah, for order.
For order.
Alright. I have half shuffled them, so you pick which one comes up next. Okay. So, unfortunately, you have to try and kill the 8 zombie first, which may be a good thing, may be a bad thing. But if we can kill these 3 zombies, we win the game.
Okay, so
actually, I think we win no matter what, because we'll have to draw 4 next turn, and there won't be 4. So just do whatever. Just don't die this turn, basically.
Okay. So I will fight.
Okay. Plot twist: eating all those sandwiches just fattened you up for the zombies. True story.
I'm screwed.
I believe in you. I actually have a decent hand.
Wait, how do I die?
You die by needing to draw and not being able to. You have so many cards in your hand, you're not going to die.
Okay.
You lose 7. You said you were fleeing, right? So if you fail to flee, you'll lose 7 cards. But you can just lose them off the top. Well, you would want to try to lose them from your hand and discard if possible, so that you don't lose a zombie. We don't want zombies to end up here if possible, but you may have no choice.
Okay, so 4, 3. There is a level 2, so that gives me 2. Gives me 4.
So if you can come up with 3 more flee. Roller skates gives you 2 flee. And you had a hide. So that's 7.
Yep.
Okay, so you fleed successfully. So now you can scavenge for up to 7 before you lose cards to Attrition. So how many cards in your hand? 5 or 6?
5.
So you can buy 1 card if you want, which is, I mean, you could just lose it to Attrition if you wanted. You could just buy it and lose it to Attrition. You have to lose 3 cards to Attrition. Okay, so we lose the oldest zombie, and then we have to deal 4 cards onto the horde, and we can't, and we win!
Yes! I don't know why that works, but we won!
Basically, the zombie horde just ran out of steam. There's only 3 of them now, so they cannot add themselves, so it is manageable. We did it! That was actually pretty intense there. I thought when you hit that heavy attrition early in the game that things were going to devolve very quickly into us just like having to sabotage each other.
Well, I think the point that I got to obviously was when we figured out that I could just buy a bunch of shit.
Right.
And then just, I think the
heavy
buying
stick roller
into your
skates thing
hand
was really
mechanic
nice.
is like really broken.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the game's obviously built to do that, but like,
it definitely, the fact that you could do roller skates and heavy sticks was really good for where you were in the game, because it's like you needed a lot of cards, and normally the heavy sticks would suck as the horde got bigger, but the roller skates saved you of that. So you could like buy one roller skates and a bunch of heavy sticks on a turn and have a really good next turn instead of being clogged by crappy cards. Cool. I was so waiting for a Sam backstab, so was I.
hey man, only backstab when I need to. I made it seem like I was totally against the game.
Right.
And
Cool.
then there was a path to victory.
So, I'm sure you have some choice thoughts for a couple of the places where we got held up as a first-time player, but we'll start at the beginning. So let's start. Let's talk about component quality and artwork.
I mean, the art's fine. The component quality is like, oh, okay. Here's the one thing I complain about. There is a right side up to these cards. Yeah, no. There is a right side up to these cards.
Yes.
Why is it like this? Why is it not just so I can figure out which side is up? I get it. It looks cooler this way. You can see the thing. But why?
Yeah, that's true. You can't really tell from the backs. I mean, if you played the game enough, you'd realize that
which is
which, but it's not obvious to start. I will say that I think that the artwork for the zombies in particular is really good. Do you want to give them the overhead cam real quick? So there's like this boat dude who's getting eaten by his like zombie boating companion. There's the Rosie the Riveter as a zombie. There's a little girl as a zombie. There's like all sorts of cool stuff. There's a football player as a zombie, which is one of the weaker ones. And then they have some actual unique ones, which I believe were actually cards based on some of the higher tier backers of their Kickstarter campaign. So they had like this guy here as a zombie. My guess is that they probably did things like had people maybe submit pictures or something, and then they turn those picture concepts into zombies or something. But that's really cool. This is a card game, so that the only thing that they have are cards. Zozie the Riveter. The only thing that they have for cards are cards in terms of components. They are all nice linen finish, which we always like to see. We don't usually complain when we find cards that aren't linen finish, but if you have a game where the only thing you have are cards and you're handling them all the time, linen finish is just really nice. So I will give that to them. The symbols are really clear. They don't rely on color too much.
Yeah, the symbols are clear, but like
I did get myself confused by the roller skates.
It's very confusing how like it's really clear when you have like one thing on there.
Yeah.
It becomes a lot less clear when you have 3 different pieces of information on there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's one that has 4, and then like the draw mechanic can only happen when this happens, but you can play this on fight turns, even though it's a flee card. Like,
right.
There are some mechanics that like are just not intuitive.
Yeah, it's basically like you can play draw or scavenge cards on any turn, but you can only play fight or flee on fight or flee. And so when you have dual purpose cards, it can get a bit confusing, especially for your first time.
Yeah, like there's a version of the game where these are anytime cards, and these like, and they happen to have fight or flee,
right,
like numbers to it. Yeah. And this is a fight card or this is a flee card, but you know like
yeah,
it just took a while in the beginning because like you were explaining 4 different things,
right?
But not all cards had 4 different. Like this one only has one thing. You know, it's just weird.
I will say that having not had to explain this game in a while, I definitely didn't do the best job explaining it. But yeah, I think in terms of learning curve, I think the turn sequence card that we have, you can switch cameras after I show this, but the turn sequence card that we have, I think does a really good job of laying out the basics of the game. But I think there are, as with Dominion, actually, there are things that are unique to how certain cards play that you kind of have to look and learn. And since these cards rotate every game, it's like until you've played the game a bunch, there are going to be things that you're kind of trying to figure out at first. And since this is an expansion, it's adding some new stuff that is maybe a little bit more complicated, like how the Sterling Sten worked with being able to fight over it and stuff like that. Where I have played the game before, so it wasn't as bad for me. But for you all who have never played the game, and for Sam who's learning it for the first time, and also learning some of these new expansion cards, that definitely adds to that.
Yeah, generally speaking, I think it's like the art kind of throws me. I don't know what all the other stuff looks like, but it's like, oh, these are things. I get that, but then these are like not things,
right?
But then they sign kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like not items. They're like actions, but it doesn't mean anything because they're all just cards.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what it is.
In terms of like complexity and like variety of strategy, how did you feel about that?
I think this leans slightly too heavy into RNG for a deck builder. Deck builders in nature are already very RNG based.
Right.
So the fact that this added the additional component of the zombies, which may or may not, let's think about it this way. In a world where we got saddled with zombie cards earlier and had no way of getting rid of them, I would not have been able to do a 16-point turn or a 12-point turn. And then we might have just gotten overwhelmed very early, which probably is a key mechanic in the game. It's just like that seems a little bit too random.
Well, that can kind of happen, but only if you're successfully fleeing many turns in a row, right? Because as soon as you fail to flee or fail to fight, the horde gets reset, right? So it can't build forever until it becomes unmanageable, because eventually someone gets bit.
I mean in your hand.
Oh, in your hand. Yeah. Yes, in your hand, that can become a problem. And that's where you and I had to be really smart about when we toss them to each other to kind of get them to our discards and let them cycle through our decks again before we drew them.
Yeah, like part of the game felt like one of the strategies, assuming a card like this is in the game, is get through the first pile of zombies as quickly as you can. Because like in the singleton version, and you're taking a lot of turns, dead cards in your hand are like a lot harder to deal with almost.
Right.
Like you want to be able to, like we basically got to the end, dumped like 6 zombies each into our discard piles without having to redraw, and that's how we were able to like stave off the zombies
right.
at the end.
Yeah, when you basically won it on your last turn, I had 4 zombie cards in my hand at that point. So I was
basically screwed without.
I had a bandage that I had bought that turn specifically because I knew I was going to have a bunch of zombies. Yeah, so that is something where it's like like most deck builders, like Dominion, they have the default mechanic where you can kind of make a randomizer deck to randomize what cards you play with, or you can choose to kind of play ones that give you different options. So like, if we didn't have a good draw card in here and we had some other thing, that could have really screwed us, right? I think if we didn't have the Sterling Sten, we would have been really low on ways to fight, because we would have just been doing roller skates and heavy sticks, and that would have been it. So like, what cards end up here, if you go truly random all the time, could screw you. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing because, like, I don't know, when you play Dominion, you could get a really bad deck too, and that's where it's just like you kind of have to, before you start, you look at the cards, and if they're shitty, you swap one out or something like that.
Yeah, that's where I think, like, from a game, like, modes perspective, I get that there's something interesting about cooperative and competitive at, like, the drop of a dime, but, like,
Right.
that just makes it weird because you don't know how some of the things would interact. I mean, obviously, like, early on, like, I was basically feeling really defeatist, so it kind of didn't matter how I played, and then I was like, oh, well, now I see an opening, now we can be competitive. You know, so it's cool, but, like, almost unnecessary.
Yeah, I personally like it because I like the fact that, I don't know. One of the things that I dislike about most deck builders that I've played in the Dominion vein is that it's basically multiplayer solitaire. So I like...
Yes, this was not that.
I like that they added, like, an enemy, but it's sort of a common enemy. At the same time, there is still a competitive aspect to it. So it's like, I don't know if... Have you ever played Aeon's End?
No.
Which we actually need to stream because I have a copy back here. But Aeon's End is a deck builder, is a cooperative deck builder where there is a boss that gets to play cards, and it has, instead of going in normal turn order, there's like a stack of cards that have player turns and boss turns, and you shuffle them and reveal them one at a time to determine the turn order, and then when you've played them all, you shuffle them again. So the boss gets like 2 turns for the players getting a full set of turns plus 1 where there's a card where it's like you can choose who goes. But it's kind of like this in that it is a co-op where you're fighting a boss and trying to do damage to the boss, and it is a deck builder. I think that this game straddles kind of an interesting in-between point between something like Dominion and something like that, wherein there is a, you know, Aeon's End is a fully cooperative game. This has a competitive aspect. I think it fits the theme really well because it's like, if you are fighting a horde of zombies, you will either work together or shit hits the fan and then it's every person for themselves. But I see what you're saying too, as well as, like, you know, maybe it's not for everyone, right? Like, some people would prefer this to be purely co-op, and you could probably choose to play it that way if you wanted. You could just get rid of the competitive aspect, or vice versa, get rid of the co-op aspect of the game if you chose to as a house rule. Cool. So as a reminder, for those of you who have not played the base game or did not see us stream it in the past, what this expansion added was 12 new swag cards and this new zombie mechanic for having it draw an extra zombie. And then it is also standalone. So if you only ever wanted to play this game 2-player, you could just buy this without the base game and play it as we did tonight. The base game is a much bigger box that has many, many more card options and allows up to 4 players. So with the base game plus the expansion, you can actually play 6 players because you have enough cards to make 6-player decks, which is kind of cool. I also really just like this deck box, and I like how they kept the style for the tiny box.
Yeah, it's nice.
Speaking of component quality, the box is really nice, and the artwork on the box is kind of cool. It's like an ammo box. So yeah, that's pretty much all we have. Did you have any further thoughts on the game?
Yeah, rules in a card game
Yes.
should never be ambiguous.
Yes. That is a good point. There were a couple places where they didn't...
I mean, if it's half round down or half round up, just say it.
Yep. Yeah, there were a couple things that needed clarification or an errata or something that ideally would have been caught before printing.
Yeah, like I know you haven't played this yet, but like
Playing through both seasons of Pandemic Legacy, every rule is in the game. Every exception is in the rule book. Like, if you got confused, You just need to find where the rule is, right? Which, yes, is kind of tedious, especially because once games get complicated, those rule books become really long. Was also really handy because, like, in a cooperative game, you should play by the rules.
Right.
Like, you should never, like, there's no incentive to make things harder or easier. Like, you should just be playing by the rules. So that's my really only complaint.
Yep. I would agree with that. I will say that on the plus side, the thing that they did do well is all of the rules that they did print fit on this one sheet. The backside is actually just a cool like poster thing of the game for the expansion. So like it is relatively easy to read through and figure out how to play the game because you're not flipping through tons and tons of pages. And the other thing I would say is that in the cases where we came across things that were ambiguous, they weren't problems where the rule being missing broke the game. It was just the problem of being ambiguous. So like we had to make a decision of what the right way to play it was because there was no answer for it. But once we made the decision, we could just play and it was fine. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like we've all definitely seen games where like they literally forget a rule or like something is explained in a way that like it actually makes it hard to play the game because they did it wrong. This wasn't that case, but it definitely, if you do get this game, definitely expect that there are going to be a few things that maybe are errata online somewhere, or you would just have to just be aware of like whether you're rounding up or rounding down for things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we got. I really enjoy this game. I actually haven't played it in a while, so I was glad that we got to pull it out because it's the perfect kind of game for a spoopy themed month. But yeah, that's what we have for you all tonight. What do we have coming up? Next week we're playing Shadowhunters, which is the very first game that we ever streamed on this channel. Very, very exciting. It is a sort of hidden role party game, but a little bit more structured than your coup style game stuff. It's more of a combat investigative hidden role game that has more board things involved and some dice rolling. Really fun game. And then to close out the month, we're playing Letters from Whitechapel, which we have played similar games in the past. One was last Friday, which I think we streamed last year around Halloween time, and another one which I don't think we've streamed, but we wanted to, is Scotland Yard, which is kind of the original in this theme, where there's one player who is sort of the murderer or evil person, and their movement is hidden on the board, and they have a screen where they write down their moves, and everyone else is teamed up against them, trying to hunt them down without knowing exactly where they are, and you'll get like clues of where they were a few turns ago as you're trying to triangulate their position. In this particular game for Letters from Whitechapel, the solo player is Jack the Ripper, and everyone else is a London detective, and there are NPC victims on the board, and you don't, as detectives, you're trying to patrol near the victims, but you don't know which one Jack the Ripper is going after. And so you're trying to basically find Jack the Ripper before the victims get murdered. And it's like a multi-stage game. Really, really fun. So that's what we have coming up for the rest of the month. As always, we have our PAX Unplugged ticket giveaway going on right now. We will choose a winner for that right after our Letters from Whitechapel stream, so we'll announce the winner on the 1st of next month, since our Letters from Whitechapel stream is on Halloween itself, which is super exciting. Woo! And that's the rest of the month. So as always, let us know what you guys want us to play. Come say hi on Discord. Dark Citadel, I really enjoyed Letters from Whitechapel when I played it. It's a really fun game. I liked it a lot better than when we played last Friday on stream. I thought Letters from Whitechapel was a lot more robust of a game, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. So thanks everybody for stopping by tonight. Do we have a raid or something?
I mean, there are people playing board games.
Yeah.
Or we could raid other people.
Yeah. What do we got? What do we got going on tonight?
Someone's playing Pandemic. Loading Ready Run is playing Pandemic Legacy.
Yes. Obviously not that.
Tabletop live stream.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Sleek Geeks.
We could do. Yeah. Sleek Geeks looks like they're doing something interesting. Or actually, them or Bored and Drunk. Actually, Bored and Drunks looks interesting. Ghostbusters the game. That was a Kickstarter, I think.
Okay.
Recently. Yeah.
I think you need.
Yeah, I can do that. All right, y'all. We're gonna send you all in a raid over to Bored and Drunk. They're playing Ghostbusters, the board game. So go send them some love, and we will see you all next week. Have a good night. Bye.